Yeah, hello guys. My name is Vandit Pandya, and I will be your speaker for today's session. So, on behalf of Azure Developer Community, I would like to welcome you all. So, welcome to Azure Developer Community, right? Okay. Then, introduction to Azure Developer Community. What is the Azure Developer Community? Let's understand first that thing. Okay. Right. So Azure Developer Community, it is the initiative of Microsoft Corporation itself for upskilling and give a platform to college students to prove their skills. Like they have their own kind of skills, so giving them a stage to prove their own skills. Okay. Right. So Azure Developer Community is made up of with Azure and the developer community. Right. The Azure is a renowned cloud platform which has a more than 200 plus product and the cloud services which is provided by the Azure itself. Mainly, the Azure provides the security, scalability, global access, hybrid cloud, and the flexibility. There are the main key that we can say services provided by the Azure itself, right? So, using the Azure, what we can do, so we can run, build, and manage the application across the platform on premises at using edge computing like any other platform. We can say what we can build, so we can build the application on the business analytics, or we can build a mobile application, app services, crm, sharepoint, website management. Lots of n number of services are there, right? So first of all, what is a community? So community, it is the same mindset kind of people, like group of same people, group of people who has the same kind of mindset. Like if we talk about the technical community, so in that the people has like mindset to grow more, like, and learn new about the upcoming technology, or we can say cutting edge technologies, right? So let's join the as a developer community, right? You can find all the socials and the website in the description as well, so you can check it out there, right? Okay, so let's start with today's our session. The session will help you to understand what will be the end goal for today's. So right, so from today's session, what we will be learning. So we will be learning the basic concept of the cloud computing. So what is the cloud computing? How we can use. Then determine what is the Azure solution for a business need. So why business are using the Azure Azure solutions. So we can know about that. Differentiate between the Azure methods of creating an Azure subscription. So there are Microsoft AD, we can say the Active Directory. In that we can assign a role and give some kind of privileges to any other person. Like in our PC we have a root user and some other XI user. Same kind of things are there, right? So first of all, what is the Azure, right? So Azure is a cloud computing, right? When I say cloud computing, you again like say why cloud computing. So we will be like learning that kind of things as well, right? So first question is, why is the cloud computing typically cheaper to use? Like what are the key parameter behind the cloud computing, so that make cloud computing very flexible to use by the any business itself, right? So I will be guiding through all that paths, right? So let's cheaper to use. Why the cloud computing? It is a delivery of a computing services over the internet. So like over the internet we can use the CPU, GPU, and the hard disk memory, all infrastructure that is provided by the cloud computing itself, right? Only we need to only we need a one stable internet connection itself. Okay, so cheaper to use, what is the key parameter? So we can say lower user operation cost, because while I'm talking about the cloud computing, there is no kind of physical hardware are set up by ourselves, right? Run your infrastructure most costly, right? If let's say suppose like I buy one laptop, right? It's cost around 1 lakh rupees. If I'm not disease, that cost will be only there. So I can't do anything with that, right? So using cloud computing, I if let's say suppose I want to use like a Windows 11 Pro version for 10 minutes, so I can use that. After that, I can scrap that virtual machine, that I can scrap that virtual machine as well, right? So in this session, end of the session, I will also guide you how to create your own virtual machine and how to like use the Azure cloud services as well. So yeah, stay tuned on this session. All right. Scale your business and needs change, like when the like if we talk about current time, so there are many kind of digital transformation are there. Many offline businesses are come to online, so they are very useful technologies, the cloud technologies, so they can build their app with, we can say, no code, low code app, and they can deploy, scale, all kind of things are there, right? Okay. So put in another way, the cloud computing, it is a way to rent computer power and storage from someone else data center. You can treat cloud resources like you would resources in your own data center, so you can use that in like resources is your owns, right? So now let's take introduction. The Azure services range from simple web services for hosting your business presence in the cloud to running a full virtualized computer for your you to run a custom software. So what we can learn from this, so we can deploy a simple website to a full furnished e-commerce website, we can say, that has an n number of pages are there. So we can also create that kind of website itself, or with that kind of software as well. Okay. So Azure provide a wealth of a cloud-based services, like what kind of services that is provided by the Azure, right? So remote storage are there, database hosting, centralized account management, and many cutting edge booming technologies are there, like AI, ML, machine learning, IoT. So we can also use that in cloud computing, or we can say Azure platform as well, right? So, what are the Azure fundamentals? Today's session is introduction to Azure fundamentals. So, let's talk about that. What is the Azure fundamental? Okay. So, in the Azure fundamental, there are Azure core computing, network, storage, database, and services, cloud security, cutting edge in the IoT and the machine learning. Right. Let's see one video in that we can like. The video is very in-depth manner, so you can learn from that. Okay. Yeah, from that you learn many things, right? After this, so right, for deploying the many kind of, like we can say, virtual machine, right? So for that we are using Azure portal, right? So on Azure portal, what we can do and what the Azure fundamental, let's we see one slide ago. So what the Azure fundamentals gives us to use the in the cloud platform, or we can say on Azure portal, what we can do. The here I like mention some main technology using that, using many like students and the many working professional are using that kind of technology, right? So technology are a kind of virtual machine, cloud based storage, Azure web app, right? In that, using Azure web app, we can scale the hosting platform as well. Using that web app, we can make that Azure services using many popular framework as well. The next one is the Azure function. In the Azure function, that function is the event driven, we can say. Like we can say, if some task is done, this, so after this, that this, so like the sequential kind of things, that is the done by the Azure function as well. That is the key feature, is that is a serverless. Okay. So after that, Azure provides a containerization, or we can say Kubernetes. So we can say, like using that we can deploy a containerized application as well. After that, Azure also provide a Cosmos DB. Using that, we can also build some kind of database, and no no SQL app we can also made from that. Okay. Azure AI services. In the Azure AI service, we can build, train, and deploy model as well. And that after that, the main key feature is the Azure provide a regional data center as well. Using that, we can check our app performance as well. All the things can be using Azure portal itself. So right. So let's say what is the Azure portal and how it works. So let's see what is Azure portal. So right here, you learn about the, like what is the Azure portal and how we can use, right? So using the Azure portal or cloud computing, what is the main key point? So why that it is needed to like use the cloud computing, right? So using the cloud computing, it is the scalable, available, and we can say secure as well. So right, with that, it is saving our time and the lots of money, we can say. Okay. So Azure works in which kind of manner? So Azure work as a IS, PS, and SAS. So what is the IAS, PS, and SS? If someone know what is that, so please let me know in a comment box. Right? I wait for 5 to 10 seconds if someone wants to share what is if someone know what is IAS, PS, or SS. So let's know me in chat box. Okay, if anybody is know what is the IAS, P, or SS, please let me know in a chat box if anybody knows what is. Okay, nobody's. I will be let you know what is IAS, PS, SS. Okay, what is the IaaS? IaaS, it is the means of infrastructure as a service, right? PS is a platform as a service, and SS is a software as a service. So first of all, go for IaaS, PS, or SS. First, talk about the on-premise. So what is the on-premise? If you go for just a second, right? Okay, yeah. If you go for AZ 900 certification, in that certification you know about many times in their certification curriculum the many times mention about the on-prem. So what is the on-prem? The on-prem is consist of the on-premises. So in that the application, data, runtime, middleware, OS, virtualization, server, storage, networking, the all 7 8 bundle of things which is managed by only person who is deploy that, like managed by you, me also we can say, right? But if we go to IS, like providing a infrastructure, so in that the virtualization, server, storage, networking, all things are managed by the vendor here. All things are we can say managed by the cloud, let's say Azure itself. Okay, and the OS, middleware, runtime, the five layer of that things which is the handled by the person or a technical person or a developer we can say, right? After that, that is the PS, platform as a service. In that we can go to like using the platform. In that platform only we are coming up with our application and we generate data from that. Okay, the other all the things from runtime to networking, all kind of things are managed by the cloud. Here it is by Azure itself, right? After that, SS, software as a services. So in the software as a services, all the things are provided by the cloud computing, or here we can say Azure itself. Okay, so from application to networking, all things are managed by the Azure itself. So here only what we have to do, we are using their services or pre-built services, or we can create some kind of services and deploy on that, or we can say that is that kind of application. It is known by the cloud native application. So we can create cloud native application, and using that we can deploy our app on, and we can scale and the security, availability, scalability, all kind of things which is pre-built feature of the cloud computing, we can enjoy that. Okay, so here I pasted one photo. In that you can say the light blue color, it is the denoted that that kind of services are managed by the Microsoft. Dark blue we can say it is managed by the customer, and the sad both color are there. In that the services are managed by end user or a customer itself, or a Microsoft, as well as Microsoft can be manage that. But Microsoft provide a GUI, graphical user interface. So using that they can do easily, all kind of stuff, right? So providing the GUI, they can manage that, is like we can say from Azure portal we can do that, right? So in the SAS we can say, in the SaaS, the very small kind of things that is provided or like managed by the customer. In the PS some more things are there, in IS also more things, in the on-prem all kind of jobs are managed by the customer itself, right? Okay. Yeah, you will be also responsible for, yeah, in that we can say like, if we will be responsible for the information and the data, what will that stored in the cloud. So like we will be responsible what kind of services we will be running on the cloud itself, right? Devices, what kind of devices that we are connected, what kind of privileges that we are giving to the, here it is mentioned like the cloud accounts and the identities that is of the account and the identities of the people, service and the device within your organization, what kind of privileges you given to the XYZ person, that is only dependent on you. You will be responsible for any kind of issue that is created if you given that the privileges of that person, right? Your service model will be determined responsible for this kind of things. Like if you go for a IES, PS or a SS, so what will be the key features using that, you can go for the any other subscriptions. So right, the main kingdoms, main things: operating system, network control, application and the identity and the infrastructure. Okay, you can use Azure for, I early mentioned about that. You can use Azure for virtual machine, website or database hosting, right? Azure web app, cloud based storage you can do, Azure containerization, the Kubernetes apps you can build and deploy that. Cosmos DB are there, so you can use the open source SQL application as well as the subscription based application. You can integrate into that. NoSQL application are there. Azure AI services you can use, in that you have to only build, train and deploy on the cloud platform itself. Azure regional data center are that, using that you can scale your application on that, and you can only make that application accessible for that area. When we'll deploy a virtual machine, I will be like let you know how, what is the region thing, right? That, okay. So I will be giving you all the information. So for that, stay tuned in this session and watch the video till end. Okay. So what are the we can say cloud models are there. So there are many cloud model are there. Means basically there are three kind of are there: private, public and hybrid. In the private, that is the managed by the one company or one single entity by that, and the control it is the given to a single entity itself. Okay. Yeah, the cost it is always be high. If you do some services for a premium basis, it will definitely cost you high. Okay. Finally, a private cloud may be hosted for you your own data center, right? Okay. Next is public, that we are using cloud services like Azure given to us, right? That is the built, control and the monitor by third party company itself. Within the cloud, anyone that wants purchase that services, they can access that as well. The general public accessibility is, that is the key point between the public and the private cloud. Main key point, it is the public availability. In the we can say a private cloud, the no public availability are there. It is managed by the one government, or we can say one company itself, right? And the hybrid, you can definitely like think about that, like what is the hybrid. So hybrid, it is a made up of a private and public combination package. So in that, we can do some kind of uh, adding up some kind of extra layer of security. What is that extra layer of security? User can flexibly choose which service to keep kept into public cloud, and what is to deploy in the private cloud infrastructure. So you can determine that, okay, I want to deploy my application into public cloud, and I want to deploy my database into private cloud. So you can do that. Using that, you can make that application more secure. Yeah. So what will be the cost for that? If you use the cloud platform, that will definitely the cost is there. But what is the cost, right? So guys, don't worry, cost is very low. In what term very low? The services you are using, it is the form of pay as you go. If you using the cloud module for a 10 minutes, you have to only pay for 10 minutes itself, not more than that, right? Okay, so let's live demo time. It's time to demo some things. It's okay. For that, we going to portal.azure.com. Okay, you are thinking about that. Yeah, we don't have any kind of subscription, right? Something. Don't worry. If you are a student, well, very good. You can using the Azure credit from GitHub pack itself. So GitHub Git in the student GitHub pack, there are $100 of credit voucher are there. You can avail that and you can use that $100 of credit. Other than that, there are a free tier as well. So right, the free tier is as well. Using that free tier, you can avail $20 and you can use that in that free tier. They given two of $20. Using that money, you can always use that account in a very like, okay, you go for a free version, right? So you start with the USD 20 as your credit, so you can use that as well, right? So that is the best thing that Azure provide you as a student or as a working professional. If you want to try that platform, you can definitely. And I want you give you some advice, like please go for the portal.azure.com and create your account. And if you want to like want this free like link, I will be pasted in a chat box, so you can use that. Okay, and also I mentioned on the screen, so you can also copy from that as well. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's the good thing. Okay, so next is it is the Azure portal. Okay, so let's start with the Azure portal, right? Okay, yeah, so let's start the our Azure portal journey. Okay, so is in the Azure portal journey, let's start with the basic like services. Okay, let's first go through the Azure portal itself. Okay, so first it is the creator resources, then a virtual machine, cognitive services. I love cognitive services very much, as well as virtual machine very much. Okay, then you can use storage account, face API, monitor, cognitive services, right? All things are that you can use that definitely. Okay. Okay, meanwhile, if you have any doubt or any query, please put in the chat box, so I will be answering in a very shortly. Okay, then. Okay, first, so let's create first virtual machine, right? Okay, so let's start with what is the virtual machine and what will be the end goal, or we can say end result of that. So let first I will be show the output of that, and let's do that first. I will be giving you one small live demo. Okay, don't worry, you are be like looking like the, yeah, that is very complex UI, but no worries, I will be let you know how what is the things are that, and it is definitely very easy. Okay, let's enter password. Okay, 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 okay. Right, I think password is wrong. Okay, so yeah, I trust on that machine. Okay, right. So you can know, like, see here, this is Windows 11 version. Okay, and I can use that version like I am using my own kind of OS. Just a second, I will be stop this banner so you can see this screen as well. Okay, stop banner. Okay, okay, now that, so you can show the taskbar as well, and the, we can see Windows panel, you can also see that. Okay, and let's minimize that. Okay, so you can see that I am using Windows 10 version, but I can also use Windows 11 version. Right, all the functionalities are there. You can use any app. Let's say I want to use Paint, I can use that. Right, let's say I want to use that and draw something, and put some color here. That I want to put some color here, or draw something, I can do that. Seamless experience is there. No, that kind of stuff I, they can now, you can don't use this kind of services. All kind of things you can use. You can use this machine as your primary machine as well. Right, right. You can use all the things that you can use, like you can use Instagram Messenger. So this is the virtual machine of Windows 11 Pro itself. That is the end result. So what, how to deploy that? Let's, I will be give you that things as well. Okay, so first we go to home. Right, after that we are creating one virtual machine. Okay, and the one thing is that if you don't use any virtual machine, please stop that, because it will cost you something. What will be the cost, I will let you know, but if you don't use that machine, please stop that, because some kind of money are there, you have to pay. At the end you will be the play, you will be the responsible for this kind of things. Yeah, so please do that. Okay, let's start with the creating of virtual machine. First go for a create, simple as your virtual machine. Right, here we will be see mainly 2 point. What is the 2 point, what kind of OS that we are using, we can use, and the what is the region. So let's first select, I will my Azure pass, then create a one is like a group, resource group. Okay, if you have, like I have one group, so I selected that. What will the now question will be that, like, what is the resource group? So don't worry, resource group, which is not a big stuff. Right, so resource group is a very simple thing, in that we can say one container, in that we can put all kind of stuff. Right, in that we can put all kind of stuff, using that we can do many things. Right, okay, so let's start virtual machine creation journey. Okay, then second thing is the virtual machine name. Let's say I given the name by community name ADC itself. A must, yeah, the key feature, like key function, is that you don't take a name from one resource rep name itself. Okay, so here the main key is region. You here, like if you go for I button, there is a choice the as a reason that right to you and your customers. Not all VM size are available in your region, right? So you have to choose what regional region or a regional that you want to choose. Let's suppose central India is works for me, but if you go for India, there are mainly three version are there: south, west, and central. Let's say take a central one. Okay, the Azure like availability option, like take availabilities on for we can say for one example purpose. Okay, as it is we can do that. Okay, availability zone is zone 1. Okay, security type, it is currently I am doing a standard because I am giving you a live demo. So if you want to deploy for your business purpose, definitely you want to go for a confidential virtual machine or a trust launch virtual machine, because there are many risks are there for financial risk, data privacy risk are there, so you want to use that. Yeah. Okay, what are the images? Like let's say suppose I want to go for a Windows 11 Pro version. Okay, so yeah, that images are in my, so I can use that. Okay, so what are the other operating system, or we can say other taste of OS are there, right? So let's see that what are the other taste of OS are there. Okay, so other taste of OS are there, like a Windows Server, Windows 10, Windows 11, you Ubuntu, Windows 7 are there. There are many lots of, we can say, taste of OS are there. You can like count like year is 6, 12, 18, 20, like round around it is 20, because and we have more than 90 pages. 90 pages. Yeah, it's updated. Yesterday I took one season in that there is a 86 pages. So currently more than 20 to 25 OS are added into this. So definitely check it out. Okay. Yeah. And the best thing is that here you can also use the CentOS free version as well. So please do that, use that. Okay. Let's go to the demo first. Okay. So we select the Windows 11. Okay, Windows 11. Like, yeah, selected that. Okay, we are selecting that, and the here it is given to a money. What will be the price that we have to pay for this? They given to us, right? First, take username and password. Yeah, okay. So it is accessible to all the ports. Let's, if you're trying for first time, don't go for the any other this filter disk networking management. All are put at is at as it is there. Okay, just go for review and create. Okay. Yeah, meanwhile if you have any query or any doubt you have, please let us know in a chat box. I will love to answer that all the questions. Yeah, so let's create that. And here it is given to your, like if you use this machine for hour, we have to pay 7 rupees per hour. Yeah. So what is the cost for the virtual machine? The the cost for the like using Windows 11 for 1 hour, it is 7 rupees. Let's see the what is the price. If you use 1 hour, you will be charged only and only 7 rupees. Yeah. Okay, our virtual machine is deploying. Let's wait for that. Meanwhile, if you have any doubt or any query, please let me know in a chat box. I will love to answer that all queries. Yeah, so my machine is deploying right now. So we have to wait for that. Okay. Due to low network bandwidth, it's take some time to deploy that. So please bear with me. Yeah. So sorry for that inconvenience. It takes some time because I currently in some like remote area, so it takes some time to like deploy. And so with like I have a low bandwidth network, so it takes some time. Yeah, but our virtual machine is right now deployed. Okay, so let's go to resource and use the virtual machine. R. Okay, so let's go for connect and RDP. Okay, RDP. What is RDP? RDP. It is a remote desktop like connection providing one kind of thing. Using that we can do that, and I will give advice. Please download the RDP file and then connect. You can do by the RDP that thing, but it is more easy to if you download the RDP file as well, as per your choice. As at the end of the day, hey, okay, like okay, let's see. It seems like I do something wrong. Let me- Okay, so if you have any doubt or any things, please let me know. Meanwhile, I fix this that thing. If anyone have any query, please let me know in the chat box. Okay, so for that, like, I think there are some issue I am facing. So let's try once again. Let's take that. If you have any doubt or query, please let me know in chat box. Just a second. Okay. Okay, so if you have any query, please let me know. After that, hello Nikhil, how are you? Okay, so we will be deploying that machine that I will also try to deploy that again. Okay, let's I share my screen and give you the same idea once again. Just a second. Okay, I hope my screen is now visible, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah, visible. Okay. So once I can create a name. Okay, so can give first a text. Okay, version availability, right? All the things you can do as it is. Okay, we can give a test one. Okay, okay. Let's say the password. Again password. Then go for review and create. Okay, like yeah, I have to confirm that and go for review and create. Okay, so we will now deploying a one, we can say, virtual machine, and here we can say it is cost you around 7 rupees per hour. So it is like a totally 7 rupees per hour for us. Okay, yeah, so our virtual machine is now deploying. It may take some time, right? So we will be waiting for that. It will take some 20 to 30 seconds for deploying process. So let wait for that. If you have some doubt or a query, please let me know in chat box. I will love to answer that. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so it seems like our virtual machine is under deployment process. And you can deploy that using your free vouchers as well. You can use that free credit as well for your like educational purpose. So once again, I like pasted the link in chat box. Using that, you can avail the free 20 um, 100 USD credit for using that kind of services as well. And you can also use the GitHub student pack. Using that, you can avail that. Okay, so I pasted link in chat box. You can use that. Definitely try to use that. It will give you many more knowledge about that around the cloud technology, right? It will take some time. Currently, I have a low network bandwidth, so it takes some time. Please bear with me. Okay. Okay. You can go to the core as well. Okay. You can go to resources as well in the test. Okay. To with the RDP as well. Okay. So we will be downloading that RDP and using that RDP for connecting the machine. And I will suggest you to please download the RDP file. It will smooth your connecting process as well, because all the configuration that will be used that RDP, it is the very beneficial for you to use that. Seems like I have some like error, so let wait for that. I will be solve that. Just a second. Meanwhile, if you have any doubt, please let me know in chat box, please. Just a second. It will take some time. It seems like my virtual machine is down, so let wait for that to start that virtual machine. Okay. Okay, so yeah, the problem is resolved. Okay, so I will like to add to stream, right? Okay, so first of all, download, we will be downloading the file. Okay, and open it. Okay, and just enter the right credential. Yeah, I trust on this machine. Okay, so you can show here, like see here, like we will be using the Windows 11 machine here, and that is running up in on the cloud itself. No GPU, CPU. It is running in our own system. Yeah, our Windows 11 is booting right now. Yeah, correct. Our Windows 11 is running up in. Yeah, yeah. That's all for this today. Okay, if you want to disconnect, you can disconnect that. Right. Okay. And if you have any query or any doubt, please let me know in the chat box. It seems like all things are good, and you don't have any doubt. Okay. Yeah. So thanks for joining in. Yeah. Thank you so much. Bye. Take care.